Hi, I am Osman. I am an energy healer on a master level with telepathic capabilities. I specialize in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, also amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments. I am also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher. Uh, Visit my website, yogawellness786.com, for more information on my services. Also, remember, my therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. The danger of depression and anxiety. So, everyone feels depression and anxiety is a psychological problem. Everyone's got problems. Sometimes you go through depression and you need to work through it. You need to just speak to someone and it'll be fine. They don't treat it as an illness, right? This is one of a very serious type of illness, probably on par with cancer, probably on par with cancer. And the World Health Organization are saying they fear that it is now on the brink of a new pandemic, depression, and the rate of suicide is increasing alarmingly worldwide, whether it be a third world country or first world country, right? So a good example, that I keep repeating is in Japan during the pandemic. It is one of the not only economically advanced but socially one of the most disciplined and highly organized systematic countries, right? The suicide rate during the COVID period was higher than the deaths from COVID, right? So this is something very, very. If you know someone, who is depressed or sad, take it seriously. Don't just try to, speak to them and try to, ask them to speak to you. Take them to for medical intervention. Don't go, go immediately to your doctor and get a referral to a psychiatrist. So a psychiatrist is able to prescribe medications, a large host of medications, more than what a psychologist can, right? And put you on because you need immediate intervention. Treat it as a very serious problem. Yesterday evening, a cousin of mine came to visit, and and I spoke to her, and she mentioned that her daughter passed away, and she had such an amazing daughter. So of course, I didn't ask her how because I knew, from um, other relatives, beforehand that her daughter had committed suicide, right? From depression. What was the depression about? She couldn't find work. She lost her job and couldn't find work. So of course, it could have been more complex and so forth. This is the watered down version that we received, right? We don't know what was this thing, but she couldn't find job, got very depressed, and she was such an amazing person, right? And she was very friendly, loving, and amazing person. People like that is so hard to find. I keep mentioning there are so much selfish people. The number of selfish people is getting more and more because the mindset of people is becoming toxic, and that's why there is lack of abundance, right? When there isn't selflessness and love in you, there's going to be lacking in terms of abundance and money and wealth and finances, and also a proliferation of all kinds of illnesses, right? Because of this, and she killed herself, right? So this is so sad, and a young woman, beautiful young woman, right, did that. So take depression and anxiety seriously. Don't take it as just something that you need to work through, because you need to go for medical intervention. You need chemical intervention, right? Just be safe. Don't say no, you want to avoid going to drugs and all that until you're not depressed. This is something that can lead to, it's a fatality where it's going to lead to your suicide, right? If it's not going to lead to your suicide, you're going to kill yourself slowly by bringing the stress and anxiety is the great catalyst for all kinds of illnesses, intensifying all kinds of illnesses, and things that you never knew possible will suddenly become manifest in you, illnesses. So treat it seriously. Go for, professional medical intervention, and go on the medications to help you in addition to the therapies, until you are able to manage, because we are in a society where our nutrition is so bad due to the population being so big, and modern methods of agriculture in being implemented, and the fast growing, everything, creating synthetic meats and genetically modified foods. I'm not against all these things, because these are solutions to, for the modern world, to help keep costs low and ensure people are not starving, right? But for example, compared to 50 years ago, an orange now has got only 20% or less, of the vitamin C, as recent as like 50 years ago, right? And this is across the board, across everything. Even, I mean, the animals that you're consuming, um, the grass that they're eating and the nutrition that they're having is insufficient. The quality of the meat is not so good, right, as it was originally. And there's a lot of chemicals in there to keep it, to preserve it and to fatten it, and to make the chicken grow his breast, faster, and within a short space of time to be fully grown, and to be able to, lay exponentially much higher levels of eggs than what they naturally, should be doing, producing so much more milk and what they should be producing, the cows and so forth. So all these leads to, and chemical imbalances in your body, which not necessarily your incapacity to manage situations, but chemically you are pushed into depression and anxiety, and you will need chemical intervention. See, treat it as something very serious, and I hope, if you see someone who is depressed or sad, take it very seriously, because you don't want to hear the next thing is that person commits suicide, right? They need medical intervention. So I hope that information helps you, and take care of yourself and those around you always.